Hi everyone. For this week's media organization speech, I want to talk about Lieutenant Michael Murphy as well as the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. So to start off with Mike Murphy, he was born on May 7th, 1976 and died on June 28th, 2005 in the line of duty. So a little bit about Mike Murphy. He was in the Navy. Yes, he was in the Navy. He was a Navy SEAL. So a little bit background in September of 2000, he was accepted um, to an appointment to the U.S. Navy Officer School. In January of 2001, Michael began BUDS, which stands for Basic Underwater Demolition Schooling, which is the schooling required to become a Navy SEAL. So he did this in hopes of becoming a Navy SEAL. And in November of 2001, Michael graduated with a class of 236. So a little bit about the SEAL teams is the SEAL teams is a special operation force of the Navy. They are the most highly trained military forces in the world. Aspiring SEALs have to go through training called BUDS, which once again is basic underwater demolition schooling, with roughly an only 33% acceptance rate through its training. So a little bit about the training. They have uh, it's like a hellish kind of training. They have, as seen in the bottom left picture here, they will sit in like bitterly cold waters, and they'll make them just lay there, just to almost put them at the edge of life, and that's just show that they can survive through it and to be mentally tough. So a big operation that Lieutenant Murphy was on was called Operation Red Wings. Operation Red Wings was a counterinsurgent mission in the Kunar province of Afghanistan, involving four members of the United States Navy SEALs: Mike Murphy, Danny Dietz, Matthew Ackelson, and Marcus Luttrell. A little bit about that. Marcus Luttrell, if everyone's ever seen the movie Lone Survivor, he was actually the only SEAL out of these four to make it through this mission. So about Red Wings, during the operation, while on surveillance, the four men were stumbled onto by goat herders. They ended up letting the herders free for them to return to the village and notify the Taliban of their location. So once they did this, Taliban that was in the village, that they were up on a mountain watching down on a village, and the Taliban in the village ended up coming up through the mountain, and a big gunfight ensued. Um, Mike, Danny, and both Matt Axelson were all killed. However, Marcus was able to survive. He was shot many times, and but he was taken into by one of the villages, and there was like an ancient code they followed that they were to help people that were injured, and this guy he took Marcus in and kept him alive until the U.S. Troops came and rescued him. Another thing about this mission was it was the deadliest day since the Vietnam War for United States Navy SEALs. So when Mike called for backup when he was on when he was on a rock, which I'll talk about later, they sent two Apache helicopters full of men, and it was actually I believe it was a 12-year-old boy shot down the helicopter with that was full of Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, and everyone on board was killed. So the Medal of Honor, Mike Murphy earned the Medal of Honor for his actions during Operation Red Wings, which is when he selflessly put himself in harm's way in order to call in for help. He put himself in the line of fire to make a phone call on a satellite phone, which cost Michael his life. The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest honor and is awarded by the president. So during the mission, they were under heavy fire by the Taliban, and they had no communications to their base. So Mike made the decision to take his satellite phone and go out onto a peak of the that was like in the wide open, and he made a call to the base and gave him his coordinates of where they were. And when he did this, he was able to get through to the base and get more men on the way, but he was killed as a result. And next, I want to talk about the Special Operation Warrior Foundation. This is an organization that provides full financial support for kids and spouses for service members killed or injured in the line of duty for all branches, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, any of them. Um, this organization will provide financial support for medical bills, financial support for um, uh, children or spouses or children's advanced education, either whether it be a 2 year school, 4 year school, or trade school. And through the years, they have awarded roughly $4 million in scholarships. This is a relatively new organization, but the vast majority of the money does go back into its cause. It's not people aren't taking huge salaries. It's um it's a great organization that really gives back to the members, and it's basically funded through donations, and there is some fundraising, but the majority of it is through donations. So that's it. Thank you.